everyone, it's Rachel Kidd here, speech and language therapist again, coming to you with week 2 and tip number 2 in our series on how you can use books to support your child's speech and language development. So today's tip is very much for 2-year-olds, any child aged 2 years 0 months up to 2 years 11 months. Just as a little bit of background, at this age we do expect children to be combining words, so that at the age of 2 they'll have short little 2-word phrases, things like no mammy or more juice. These phrases might be really unclear, but you can tell that it's a short 2-word phrase, and gradually that builds up to 3 and 4 and 5-word phrases as they get older and older, and so on. Attention wise though, a 2-year-old might not sit with you for the whole length of a story. They might get up and move around and come back again and sit for a short period of time, and that's okay and that's expected. But there are tips that we can give that will help to really make the most out of story time, that will really help to support their attention and their understanding of language as well. And with this age group, my top tip is to drop the script. So basically that means that we don't have to be tied to the text when we're sharing a story with a 2-year-old. There are other ways to engage them and other ways to support their speech and language development. So I'll show you maybe rather than tell you, but basically we're led by the child and what they're interested in, and we watch what they're interested in, and then we respond and give them the words for it. So, let's turn the page. Wow. And then see what they do. Do they point to one of the dots? Do they put their hands all over it? Do they just try to turn the page themselves? I do things like that. I go, oh, wow, and I down from 5 in my head, just to give them time to respond and take a go. And that's much more interesting for the child. They're much more likely to do something because you've given them that really clear invitation. Turn the page. Wow. And they might point to it, they might say, hun, and you can say, yeah, the sun, oh, it's orange and yellow, oh wow. And then they might try turn the page themselves, and that's great, that's them taking a go, brilliant. Wow. And then they might point to the moon, and you can say, oh yeah, the moon, oh it's really big, isn't it, it's so big, goodness me, yeah. Leaf. If they're pointing to things, then you just label it and label it and label it, and that's really fun for them. That's like turn taking, over and back, over and back, over and back. And of course I haven't gone near the text over here, but we're still having fun, and they're still getting used to books and getting engaged, and so on and so forth, all the way through turning the page. And at this stage they might want to turn the pages themselves, and you just say, yeah, turn the page. And all that repetition of the language is really key for learning and for developing new words. And another thing as well, just while we're on this page, is you might notice they'll say something like maybe at 2.5 or something like that. They might be like, oh, what? And you can say, yeah, worm. He's like a worm. He's really small. So if they say something that just maybe is a sound, but you can interpret it and maybe work out what the real word is, give them the real word and just say, oh yeah, it's a worm. And there's no need to say, now say worm, because there's no need. You'll disengage them, and you've given them the right pronunciation, and that'll go in and they'll process that. And so that's just a little tip as well. And another pitfall to avoid would be, what's that? What's that? And what's that? And what's that? Because they know that you know what it is, so they're really unlikely to respond. Children at that age don't generally respond well to questions, and you can lose them and disengage them, and they can go off, and then the learning is lost. So stick with your wow. Yeah, it's a strawberry. Oh, it's lovely. Yeah, it's a nice strawberry, isn't it? Oh wow. Yeah, it's a peach. Oh, it's nice, isn't it? Yeah, it's a peach. And whatever they're pointing to, you just describe and give them the word for it, because that's how they learn. They have to hear the word over and over again. A strawberry, another strawberry, and another strawberry, and they hear the word strawberry over and over again. That's how they learn vocabulary. Children don't learn vocabulary from being asked, what's that? They just get tested. So that's my tip with 2-year-olds, is very much to just, oh, wow, wait 5 seconds, invite them to take a little turn, and then give them the word for whatever they point to or show an interest in, and really try to avoid the questions as well. So I hope that was useful. That's very much for your 2-year-olds, that tip, and I'll be back again next week for week 3 and tip number 3 as well. All the best, guys. Bye.